We got a couple of questions you've alluded to in some of your other answers around health problems and the process there, or can they still get life insurance? So we had one question, can you get life insurance if you've had health problems? Mm-hmm. And there was another question along the same theme of, I had an application rejected a few years ago due to health problems. Can I try again?
Well, let me answer the second question first so I don't forget it. Of course, you can try as many times as you like. The fact that you were rejected for life insurance, you do have to disclose that to the next carrier. And will that affect your ability to get life insurance from the next carrier? No. What will affect you is whatever your medical problem that kept you from getting the life insurance. A lot of people oftentimes ask me about MIB, which is a Medical Information Bureau, which is a repository of information that is sort of a third-party, not-for-profit that all the life insurance companies contribute to by providing the information that was given to them as part of the application process, so that the next carrier, if you try to, let's say the first carrier finds out that you had Canarcus of the Arcus and they don't want to insure you. Now 3 years later, you want to go out to the marketplace and try again. If you tell carrier 2 that you've never had Canarcus of the Arcus, they're going to see that you told carrier 1 that you had it. And so, is that a problem? Did we lose the video or no? Okay. We're okay?
Yep.
So the real problem is not what's in MIB, but the real problem is whatever the medical problem was that caused the problem to begin with. The fact that you've been rejected, it all depends on why you were rejected. If you were rejected because you had a certain kind of cancer and it was still too fresh and too new, a lot of times there's a waiting period before which a carrier will insure you. There are types of policies that you can get even if you have been completely declined at every carrier. You can still typically buy an accidental death policy, which will not cover you for everything, but at least it'll cover if you die in a car crash or you can get something, and something is often better than nothing. But we've found that with the number of carriers that we have on our menu, if there's any way to get coverage, we'll find it. And so some carriers are more lenient than others with various different conditions. We know diabetes is a huge, big issue in our country. It's running in epidemic proportions. So I forgot what the number was. Something like 20% of the public is either diabetes or diabetic or pre-diabetic. Obesity, cholesterol, cancer, heart disease. These are real common things that will muck up the works a little bit. It doesn't necessarily prevent you from buying life insurance. Understand that if you had a quadruple bypass and an angioplasty and you're recovering from cancer, if you're able to get life insurance, it's not going to be at the same rate as someone who's never needed those or had those problems and still running marathons. Obviously, the healthier you are, the cheaper it is. The younger you are, the cheaper it is. But the fact that you have a medical problem doesn't mean you shouldn't buy life insurance because it's more expensive. I tell people many times that if you are paying more, let's say it costs twice as much because you've got a medical history or because you're morbidly obese or whatever, the price is really the same for everybody. You pay more, but you don't pay for as long, and that's kind of like a joke, but it's not funny. They don't anticipate that you'll have to pay for as many years if you're impaired in any way medically. So the deal is the same. The carrier doesn't make more money on people that are medically impaired. They charge more, but they typically have to pay out more often and sooner on those people. So the deal is really the same. They're doing their best to equalize the math problem, which is what life insurance is. It is a math problem, and I've talked many times about the way to win the game, because it is sort of a game. I mean, let's face it. You think the carrier is always going to make money on you. You're giving them your money, and for that moment, it feels like they're making money and you're getting nothing. But the fact is, everyone dies. And so you either die with your life insurance policy in force or you don't. If your policy's in force when you die, they lose money on you. If you do the math, you'll see. Take a look at what life insurance costs. There's just no way they can make a profit on people who die. So you say, well, how does that work out for them? Since everyone dies, how do the life insurance companies make money? Well, the fact is, they make money on the people who get rid of their policies before they die. They lapse, they go non-paid for whatever reason. Those people, those contracts, they make a fortune on because they collected money and they never had to pay anybody anything. And so those people ultimately subsidize the ridiculously high rates of return for the people who are smart enough to own a policy, hold on to it, and actually die with it. And that's really the secret of how to win the game of life insurance. There's a whole video on that as well. And I say the secret is 6 words: die with your policy in force. The die part, everybody can handle that part. It's the with your policy in force part of it that a lot of people screw up. And ultimately, it's how life insurance companies make money.